Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today, we've got two pretty good, very good. In the case of one, most may say amazingly good, but two good representations of some supreme hard rock live albums from the later part of the 70s. All right, twin guitar madness going on, both of them. I'm talking about the Alice Cooper Show by Alice Cooper and Company from 77. And then a year later, we got Thin Lizzy, Live and Dangerous. Okay? Two albums that did very, very well in round one, especially one of them. The other did pretty well too, beat out its competitor by a little bit. One was a runaway winner, but we'll see what happens in this one. I think I can kind of tell which way it's going to go. But anyway, Alice Cooper Show. Okay, released in 1977, featuring, of course, the lead guitar work of Dick Wagner and Steve Hunter, a formidable duo that did such great work with the Alice Cooper Band, as well as Lou Reed, as well as, all sorts of different acts that they perform with and what have you. So this one recorded August 19th and 20th, 1977, at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. Also part of a kind of TV special, Alice Cooper and Friends. Got some good tunes on here and some very good performances from Alice, Steve, and Dick. You got Prakash John on bass and vocals, Fred Mandel on keyboards, and Whitey Glenn on drums. So this, of course, was kind of like hot on the heels of the Welcome to My Nightmare album. All right, Alice kind of out on his own for the first time, away from the original Alice Cooper group. So here you've got some great tracks. You've got Under My Wheels, a classic Alice Cooper track. Okay, I'm 18, another classic track from the early part of his career. Then you got the ballad Only Women Bleed. Okay, then back to more lurid stuff. You got Sick Things. All right, then the incredible Is It My Body? And then I Never Cry, finishing off side one. And side two, the anthem Billion Dollar Babies, performed very, very well here on this evening. Then you've got a little medley of Devil's Food and the Black Widow, both from the Welcome to My Nightmare album. I love the Black Widow on here. Here's where you got all sorts of great dueling guitar solos from Hunter and Wagner. Okay, then you got another ballad, You and Me. Then another medley, I Love the Dead, Go to Hell and Wish You Were Here. Okay, very well done. Again, Go to Hell is great. I Love the Dead. And then finishing it all off with a rousing version, but should have been longer, School's Out. Okay, another one of Alice's legendary tunes. I dig this album. Again, you don't have a lot of live recordings from the 70s from Alice Cooper. It's one of the few. Officially released anyway. My one thing, I wish this was longer. And couple too many ballads. Take out a couple of these ballads, put in some of the more, harder rock stuff. Different story, I think. But still, notable, okay? Notable, as is this. All right. Long discussed by many people as one of the greatest live albums of all time. I absolutely agree with that. Recorded on November 14th, 1976 in London, as well as October 20th and 21st, 1977, as well as October 28th, 1977 in Toronto. We got Pennsylvania here as well. Paris, France. I mean, it's taken from recordings from all over creation, released in June 2nd, 1978. Here we have the definitive Thin Lizzy lineup. Phil Lynott, lead vocals and bass. Scott Gorham, lead guitar, backing vocals. Brian Robertson, lead guitar, backing vocals. And, of course, Brian Downey, the always impressive and dependable Brian Downey on drums and percussion. Okay, a couple guest stars here and there. You got John Earl on saxophone, and then Huey Lewis on harmonica on one track as well, produced by Tony Visconti. All right, despite the fact that it's long been rumored that a lot of touch-up work was done in the studio on this album, probably true in spots. Regardless, a lot of the most treasured live albums that we have heard and enjoyed over our lifetimes have been doctored up in the studio. It's just the way it is. Kiss Alive, this one, Judas Priest Unleashed in the East, the list goes on and on and on. So many of them have been doctored up here and there. But what you still have, essentially, whether it's 60%, 70%, 80, 90, whatever it is, it's still a live album. It's still recordings taken from concerts, in some cases a full concert. And in a lot of cases with these classic live albums, you get definitive versions of many of their classic songs, which I think is the case here. Starting it all off with Jailbreak, okay, from the album of the same name. Great way to kick off a concert that plows right into Emerald. My favorite version of Emerald from this album. Brian Robertson killing it on lead guitar. Then you got Southbound. Okay, then a little medley of Rosalie and Cowgirl song. Rosalie is awesome on here. It's an old Bob Seger tune. Okay, I think Thin Lizzy kind of really made it their own. On side 2, you got Dancing in the Moonlight. Doom, da, doom, da, doom, doom, doom. Very cool groove-laden tune. Then you got Massacre, the heavy Massacre. Then, of course, the mellow, emotional Still in Love with You. All right. Then, of course, the funky Johnny the Fox meets Jimmy the Weed off the album of the same name. All right. Side 3, you've got a spirited cowboy song. My favorite version of cowboy song from this album. And then, of course, their huge hit, The Boys Are Back in Town. Don't Believe a Word, another slow, bluesy, emotional rocker. Okay. Great guitar solo from Robertson there. Warriors is up next. Heavy. Rampage and dark Thin Lizzy at their best. And Are You Ready? Fast paced and raging. Side 4 could be, the strongest out of all the sides on this album. Well, it's probably tied with side 1, I think, but side 4 it starts off with Suicide. Okay, another heavy rocker. Then the incredible Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, another great tune. Okay, Thin Lizzy at their energetic, rampaging best. Then you got Baby Drives Me Crazy, and then finishing it all off with The Rocker. Okay, one of their more notable songs from the early part of their catalog, the Eric Bell portion of the catalog, right? So, what do you think, guys? According to our Facebook poll this morning, this is a runaway blowout. All right, which it's going to happen from time to time. There are certain albums that are just going to stand head and shoulders above the rest. And like I said, while both of these made it to round 2, did very well for themselves in round 1, you got to think, and I'm going to say it right now, that Thin Lizzy wins this one by like a second round knockout. I like this album, I do. Could have been a better set list on it, a couple too many ballads, all right? But great performances on most of it. This, however, is stellar from top to bottom. This, in my opinion, is probably going to go all the way to the finals. I'm not saying it's going to be one of the final 2, but final 6, probably, is my guess. I know we've had some people on the Facebook page saying, please don't put Thin Lizzy against UFO Strangers in the Night or Made in Japan by Deep Purple too early. I'm not trying to do that. Like I said, I'm kind of like random. At this point, I'm just kind of randomly grabbing. All right? I'm trying to make some matchups kind of interesting, but it's more like, okay, this and that. Okay, this and that. And I'm not overthinking it. I'm not saying, well, the best thing to do is put Alice Cooper against Kiss. And I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. All right? These are fairly random choices. All right? All the ones that are in round 2 made it because you guys deemed it so. Well, if they're good live albums, they can go up against anything, right? But there's going to be obviously a couple that are going to kind of rise above everybody else. So for this, like I said, second round KO goes to Thin Lizzy. Thanks for playing, Alice Cooper. We love you, but Thin Lizzy for me reigns supreme on this one. You guys got to vote as well. That little white circle with the letter I in it. Click on that, vote for Thin Lizzy or Alice Cooper. Go to our Facebook page, vote there. In 6 days, going to cut off the voting, or at least cut off me counting the votes. You can go and continue to vote after that, but I'm not counting them anymore. 6 days is all you get, all right? And then the winner moves on to round 2. So we'll see which one kind of moves over. I think I have a pretty good idea of who that's going to be, but we'll see officially in 6 days from now. So this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we are on YouTube every day. Don't touch that dial. We've got another classic live album more coming up. 2 more heavy hitters. All right, you're going to like this one. So stay tuned. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.